Hey there, welcome to the Focus Podcast with Taralee. This is the place where we talk about real life, real relationships, and how to grow through it all. If you're looking for simple mindset shifts, better communication, and deeper connections, you're in the right spot. Let's dive in. Welcome back to the Focus Podcast with Taralee, the place where we explore what you focus on, how it expands, and how to find peace, purpose, and connection through intentional living. Today's episode is one of those life-changing aha moments that I wish someone had told me sooner, but maybe I need to discover it myself to really believe it. It's a paradox, a truth that seems contradictory at first, but it actually offers deep clarity and empowerment. Here it is. You are more in control than you ever thought, and you have less control than you think. Let that sink in. You are more in control than you ever thought, and you have less control than you think. Because honestly, that has changed the way I parent, the way I grieve, the way I coach, and the way I treat myself when things don't go as planned. Now, let's dive into both sides of this truth and how learning to live this tension will actually set you free. So let's start here. You are more in control than you ever thought. Have you ever looked back at your life and thought, I just can't stick with things? I used to tell myself that story all the time. I start strong, but I always quit. And I'm not disciplined enough. I don't follow through. And I believed it for years. For years, I believed it about myself. But here's what's wild. I had this moment sitting with my journal when I looked back and realized, wait, that's not true. Well, not completely true. Yeah, I had left some projects unfinished, and yes, I hesitated sometimes, but I had never quit, not on the things that truly mattered. I never quit on my kids, even in the hardest moments. I never quit loving people through painful seasons. I never quit showing up, even when I felt scared or unqualified. So where was this quitter story coming from? So here's a little story. When I first started creating my course From Conflict to Connection, I had so much doubt. I kept hearing that old voice, you'll never finish this. But every time I worked through a module or recorded a video or wrote a script, I started proving myself wrong. And that's when the focus model came into play. Let's walk through it together. Facts first. The fact is I have shown up again and again. That's not quitting. Own your thoughts. I'm a quitter was just a thought, not truth, not my identity. Choose your feelings. Once I challenged that, I chose feelings of capability, calm, and courage. Understand your actions. From that place, I started taking consistent, imperfect action, which leads us to shape your results. And now I'm living in alignment with the real story. I'm a finisher, a business owner, a creator, a coach, a 5K finisher. Brief side story here. This past Christmas, something came across my social media feed about a 5K that had happened to be taking place on my 50th birthday. And I got it in my head that I could never do one of those. I'm not a runner. Heck, I'm not even much of a walker. I've battled issues with my poor feet for years, and I didn't even know if I could even walk a 5K, let alone finish one. But I got it in my head that I wanted to do it. And my mantra for 2025 has been, but I did it. I'm pushing myself to do things even if they're hard. So I signed up and I started training the day after Christmas. And by March 1st, the day of the race, I did it. Maybe I'll throw a picture up for those who are watching on YouTube to see proof. But it was really hard, but I did it. And you can do the same because you are more in control than you ever believed, especially when it comes to your inner world. There's a quote that I love by Viktor Frankl. It says that between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. So that space, that's where your true control lives. Okay, now here is the flip side of this. You also have less control than you think. And honestly, that part used to drive me crazy because I'm a fixer, a helper, a planner, and maybe a bit of a control freak. If someone I love is hurting, I want to swoop in and make it better. But There's one lesson that parenting, grief, and even life kept teaching me over and over. You can't control other people. You can't control outcomes. And you can't control timing. So on a personal note here, this past September, my daughter, who is 24 years old, was diagnosed with cancer. And I would have given anything to be able to take that away for her. I would have given anything to control her healing time. And I tried to stay strong, optimistic, and positive. But at some point I realized this isn't something I can fix. I can love her, I can support her, but I can't control what happens next. And that surrender, it's painful and it is so incredibly powerful. Because once you stop trying to control what you can't, you make room for deeper connection. You stop white-knuckling your way through life. And you learn to ride the waves rather than fight them. And the irony of it all is that you actually become more effective. You listen better, you parent more calmly, you coach more clearly, and you live more authentically. Timber Hawkeye has a quote that says, "You can't calm the storm, so stop trying. What you can do is calm yourself. The storm will pass." I love that quote. Now, I want to speak directly to an earlier version of you. Maybe you're stuck in shame. Maybe you're spinning your wheels trying to control everything and feeling exhausted. Maybe you're questioning whether you're strong enough. Here's what I want you to know. You are more in control than you ever thought, and you have less control than you think. And that's okay. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be aware. Awareness is power. Right now, picture a situation in your life that feels overwhelming. Hold it in your mind. Now ask yourself, what is truly in my control? What is not? What am I choosing to believe? And what could I believe instead? Now write that down. Just that small pause, that reflection, it can shift your whole experience. I hope this episode gave you something to think about, something to breathe into. Remember, control what is yours to control and let go of what isn't. Focus on the space between. That's where your power lives. If you're working through parenting struggles, relationship pain, or emotional exhaustion, I would love to walk beside you. Head to peacefulheartjourney.com and book a free 30-minute coaching session with me. We'll find your next step together. Until next time, keep focusing on what matters, because what you focus on truly does expand. Thanks for hanging out with me today on the Focus Podcast. If something stood out or helped you in some way, feel free to share it or leave a quick review. It means a lot. Keep showing up, keep growing, and I'll catch you in the next episode.